Good evening, everyone. I am Shikina, and in behalf of my aunt, Tita Jocelyn, I will read her message about the love story of Ate Diane and Kuya Ricky. There is no other person in this hall better than me to be a credible witness of the blossoming love affair of Ricky and Diane. It all started at Maasin Maternity and Children Hospital in Maasin City, Southern Leyte. I am Dr. Jocelyn V. Villamor, head and owner of the said hospital, a pediatrician and the aunt of Diane. She is the daughter of my husband's first degree cousin, Fe. Allow me to share their story to everyone here. Ricky applied as a staff nurse in our hospital sometime in January 2018, his first job as a nurse. He found the nursing profession uninteresting, so instead, he managed a shop in Hilongos, Leyte that sells bicycle and bike parts. Upon learning from a friend that there was a staff nurse hiring at MMCH, he tried his luck. I don't know what made him convinced to finally decide to practice his profession after a long time. I can recall him telling me how so happy his mother was of his plan, probably an answered prayer for her. She was excited to see her son with his new haircut and dressing up presentably for the interview. When he was accepted, her mother offered a Thanksgiving Mass, probably thanking God for awakening his son's senses. I was so amused of Ricky's revelation. He was assigned at the ER. Still remember seeing his hands trembling on his first IV insertion, but after a few months, he already mastered the technique even in difficult cases. He is funny, quick, and efficient with a passionate heart. He even transported a patient with Guillain-Barré syndrome to Cebu without charge. How he panicked watching the patient turn blue when the oxygen was at the consuming level. Luckily, it happened when the boat was nearing Cebu port. As to his love life, I have not heard of Ricky being romantically linked with someone, though I knew he had a crush with his co-nurse, but I did not know if he continued pursuing her. Or maybe there was a change of affection when he met Diane in November 2019. Yee! I happened to have a short acquaintance with Diane and her sister, Denden, on a fiesta at a friend's house in Palo. I just finished my residency training in pediatrics back then. They were still kids. Then the next thing I knew, she already passed the PLE, the physician licensure exam. I asked her mom if she would consider working as a resident physician at our hospital before her residency training. After a month, she confirmed and even invited her classmate at Silliman University to work in our hospital as well. As a resident physician, she easily got along with the ER staff, able to connect with her patients effectively since she can speak Bisaya dialect fluently. She takes time to explain to them her ailments and what their medications are for. She treated her patients with compassion and empathy. I commend her for the good feedbacks I received from the staff and patients. So, this is the start of their love story. Papunta pala tayo sa exciting part. Since Diane stayed more time at the ER and Ricky as an ER nurse, they had more frequent eye-to-eye encounters. Ricky was immediately swooned over Diane's cuteness. It was probably love at first sight, but I don't know if it was the same with Diane. Then they started hanging out with the ER staff on a videoke, then followed by another 2 outings as a group. After then, only the two went out on a date. One intimate night they had was stargazing. This was the perfect time for Ricky to express his intentions while whispering flattering things to Diane. This made Diane fascinated and enchanted, perhaps. I remember Diane made a confession to me that night, Ricky really warmed her heart. I could feel her kilig. After hearing those words from Diane, I already hinted something amazing would happen next. True enough, after 2 months, they became an official couple. When COVID heightened in the second and third quarters of 2020, their relationship was also steaming hot. In October 2020, Diane and Ricky got infected with COVID along with another ER nurse. Everyone in the hospital was distraught with fear. Our hospital experienced closure for 8 days, and this was the saddest point in the history of MMCH. Diane and Ricky were quarantined at CHU facility. Adding anguish to an already stressful situation was Ricky's asthma attacks while in the facility. He would secretly nebulize in fear that he would be transferred to a COVID hospital. Fortunately, his condition did not worsen and they were discharged from the facility after 1 week, then was advised for another week of home quarantine. Diane made a touching post of her COVID story and urging everyone to fight against stigma and discrimination. After completion of 2 weeks quarantine, Diane no longer reported back to hospital and bid us goodbye to prepare herself for her residency training in Tacloban. But after a month, Ricky followed and found a job at Sisto Somyasis Hospital. They came back after Typhoon Odette, bringing grocery packs for the homeless victims. Indeed, MMCH is undoubtedly has a special place in their hearts, since this is where their beautiful story started, and this is to be told and retold to their children and grandchildren. To Ricky and Diane, though I may not be physically present to celebrate your joyous union, but my thoughts are with you. May this day be the beginning of a blissful wedded life that you will cherish for a lifetime. See you both soon, and we love you. From Auntie Jocelyn.